Welcome to the Profit Share Mastery Podcast with your hosts, Linda and Press McKissack.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Profit Share Mastery Podcast. I'm Linda McKissack.
And I'm Press McKissack.
Hey, Press. We are super excited. We have a guest today who I have known. Adele and I were trying to figure it out. Adele Demoro is from New Jersey. And we were trying to figure out last night how long we've known each other. It was like 30-some years, right? 29, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
So super excited. Adele gets lots of good profit share. So Adele, kind of a little bit briefly, we always say give you were born and then what happened, Cliff Note version to bring us today in the world that we're in.
Mm-hmm. So I am a born and raised New York City girl and married to Rich Demoro. I have 5 kids. So we left New York City, went to New Jersey, and went from stay at home to, believe it or not, work in a diner for like 3 months. I met a broker who told me that I can be a realtor. And so I became a real estate agent and was gonna really end it because it was too much with a large family. And then I went somewhere, I'm learning base, and I went somewhere and I learned about this thing called an admin. And then I started to go to many seminars where I met yours truly at Howard Brinton.
And we knew instantly we were each other's people. Kind of 2 peas in a pod, just from 2 different places.
In the world.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, one thing I want to bring up here real quick is, and Press, you and I talk about this all the time, giving people the line of, you might be good in my business when you're at a restaurant or anywhere else. And I think about, my gosh, if that gentleman had not said that to Adele, we would have all missed out, right? And so we have to wake up and realize that some amazing people for our industry could be serving us coffee, lunch, Ubering us, doing whatever, and just see everybody as somebody that has a potential to do something big in real estate. So talk a little bit about, okay, so your profit share. Now you have built pretty good sized profit share, but kind of talk about, did you understand profit share in the beginning? Did it take you a while to be interested in it? Talk to about what your feelings about profit share.
I came to Keller Williams probably not for the profit share. I came because if I was going to stay in the business, it was the place to be. What I learned quickly as I came in as a candidate to be an operating principal, but I was really a mega agent. That's what I was. As I brought people in, because I was learning base, I poured into people. And when you pour into people, it's easy to bring them over and change their life. And to me, profit share is just a great way of changing people's life. And it's a return. Yeah. Without even realizing, you just keep doing the right thing by people and you will attract people that want to be in business with you. And it's a great return. So I know you have a couple of, you and I talked about a gentleman, I think you said his name was John, that was in one of your offices that just bought a property with his profit share. Can you talk about some of the things that you've seen, either one that you've been able to do? We even talked about what you were able to buy. So tell them exactly what you were able to buy recently with profit share. Not something most of us would be out looking to buy, but Adele bought it. So I have 5 children, and one of them is an embalmer, a funeral director. So we bought a building, an amazing building, and we are now owners of an incredible funeral home. So yeah, and that is.
So she's still in the housing business. It's just a different house.
That's right.
Well, it's a unique business, and I think that profit share was key because I knew that money would come in, big or small, and so that we were able to float it. It's a service business. It's unique, and profit share money should be used to make other money.
Absolutely. I love that. Say that again.
Profit share money should be used to make other money. Pretend it's not there, but when you get it, absolutely try and designate it for something else that you wouldn't be receiving, so that now you kind of multiply the money.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Linda,
get effect.
We were just talking about this, looking at, we wrote out Linda and Jim's net worth. And one of the things we talked about is, how do you put a valuation on the net
Profit
worth?
share.
Like, what's the value of your profit share? It's just, we've yet to find someone who's able to really give us like a great answer for how you value that, because you really put in almost no money, little to no money, to generate an exponential return on your money. So it's really just a time thing. It's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
You know, I have 5 children, and my youngest daughter, who understands profit share at a high level, wants that as her inheritance.
Yeah.
She says, "I'll just take that." But I think I think it's a natural of being someone who pours into people. Many people will absolutely help others with no return ever, and they help build their companies and do all kinds of things with no return. So if you're a great leader, you're going to naturally want to help others. That's what leadership is. And here is the compensation that you've never received.
We just found that recently with Pam that we recruited, you know, 2 or 3 years ago. She was already doing the activities. People already saw her as a leader. She had great relationships with people, and she was building somebody else's office because of that.
Yeah, and had no vested stake in whether it succeeded or not, right? Adele, do you know how much?
Hold on. I don't know. I want to get back to the question that you asked me. One of my agents just bought a home in Italy to retire to. He's one of my top profit sharers, came in as an agent with challenges, and we changed his life. And he got it at a high level. Right now he's on the retirement plan, but he's been the #1 agent in our area for years with a team of about 50 people.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been in Gary's mastermind, and now he's on the road to go opposite. So he's recruiting at a high level so that he could just live off the profit share and no longer his real estate business.
Yeah.
And then I have another lady, and she bought a magnificent beach house with her profit share money. And she uses it for ALC retreats and everything else.
Yeah, we always say if you will earmark your money into a separate account, number one, you won't spend it, and 2, it can build up, and you can do things like you said, either buy an investment property or buy something that's a funeral home or whatever that's going to multiply your money, or you can buy a lifelong dream of a beach house or a home in Italy that you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Adele, what would you say are the skill sets involved in going after building your profit share? Like, what are the things that you would say if you're teaching any agents in your office, any of your offices, or just in general around how to go after their profit share? What would you teach them?
I would teach them to behave in the industry. Yeah. And secondly, to really understand that somebody out there needs your help. So you help them, and then teach that person how to help others. It all comes from helping. It's the gift of serving.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Linda, talk about what you shared. You shared something recently that I thought was really impactful about who are we to decide? Talk about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, one of the first things I always ask people whenever I'm talking to groups about profit share is I say, okay, how many of you in here truly feel like in some way coming to Keller Williams has changed your life? And unanimously, almost 100, I think 100% of the room usually raises their hand. And then what I always say is, so somebody's willingness to talk to you about Keller Williams or introduce you to something or take you to something or whatever changed your life. So my question to you is, who are we to decide that that's enough lives changed? Right. And so I think if we can change people's mindset about what it is, then I think they're going to be more inclined to understand, oh, I don't have to have a magic script, or I can't make someone come to KW. I really have to get them to a place where they believe it's the best thing for them.
Agree. And also, when you are talking to someone and just sharing what I call our 3 great points, because there's many, which is our yes, compensation, yes, education. You want to build a business, but our culture and sharing profit share and the community that we have, people are longing for, is part of the package. So we bringing someone to the company, even without profit share, although it's so wonderful, it should be the way it is in our industry. You have something good, you share it.
Yeah.
Adele, what were those 3 again? You said compensation, education, and culture.
Yeah. Culture being support is huge. And I think at such a time as this, support is almost greater than compensation.
Yeah, so true. Because so many agents are out there struggling. You know, we have a saying. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say on the culture topic, when I think culture, one of the things that you inherently value at this company, if you're with us and choose to stay with us, is the relationships piece. Like what makes our ecosystem special is we have a relationship where everyone's on the same side of the fence and we all want the same thing. We all believe, we don't believe in a limited pie. We believe in an exponential pie. The more we have, the more we do, the more we all win because there's more profit share. So I think part of our secret sauce is our model is set up in a way to support relationships, which I think as human beings, most of us are wired to be a relational people.
So Adele, you have how many? Almost 1,000 agents, or a little over 1,000 agents in your offices?
We have 1,600.
1,600
Wow.
in your 3 or 4 offices, or how many offices?
We have
You have a couple of business centers.
Yeah, we have 4 market centers and probably 5 business centers. I think we have 10 locations.
Okay.
Mhm.
So tell me, what is it in your opinion when you look at people? Because Press and I are on a mission to make more people take advantage of profit share.
Right.
What do you believe are the key reasons why people don't get their unfair share of profit share? What's keeping them from doing it?
I think that they don't understand the other. You say sitting on the same side of the fence. I say sitting at the same side of the table.
Mhm.
Because the table is closer and
Love
they don't understand that you're helping somebody. People will do things to help someone. They may not help themselves, but they'll help someone. And this is that situation that you're helping someone, you're helping their family, you're changing their world when you bring them to KW. And the perk is that you get profit share from the owner's side of the profit.
So do you think they're thinking too much about what they're going to get, or what's keeping them from going and helping people and getting that benefit of profit share? What do you think is the limiting belief or thought or whatever? We have some in our course that we kind of list as what we believe is the top limiting beliefs, but you got a lot of agents to observe. You probably wish more of your agents would get more profit share. What do you think keeps the ones from it that aren't getting much or aren't getting any?
I think that they feel they don't deserve it. I think that they don't understand the dynamics of profit share. The dynamics of profit share is not just bring someone to Keller Williams, help them when they're there. And the community. I think the community is the greatest part of coming to Keller Williams, and so you reach out to someone, you find out what their need is, right? The support culture, the education, they want to build their business, they just want to make more money for the same amount of work. And when you look at it from that way, and you look at it through their eyes, they're just like, oh, I don't want to bother them. No, you're not bothering them. You're really doing them a favor. Big. And how many times do we know that that's true? Because someone will say, I wish I would have come earlier.
Oh yeah. Or I wish you had done a better job to
Yes.
get there earlier.
Right. And
So they see it as something they're doing to someone instead of for someone.
there you go.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to take a little bit of a different approach, Adele, to the question around profit share. Because a lot of times we're talking to people who they're not also necessarily owners. You're also an owner of multiple KW franchises. I'm curious from your perspective, what are things that a market center can do to build an environment that when agents refer them in to your brokerage, they don't want to leave? What would you say are some of the pieces that you think are really important today for a Keller Williams franchise to have in order to keep those agents in our company?
Oh, that's a hot topic for me. So it's not just coming, it's retention. And
Right.
the retention comes back to training, having a calendar that has value, a training calendar, and having different committees and that serve the agents. Our Red Day committee, one of the offices, they did a comedy night. They raised $6,000 for Red Day. They're on fire for that, and there's a lot of different ones, a lot of different communities, but not being alone. People are alone today. So if you have things in your market center, programs, mastermind clubs, and that people can not just come, but feel that they belong, that's a game changer. They
Good
want to
point.
belong.
Good point.
Really good.
Yeah.
That's
I
really
see
good.
people making a lot of major decisions all because they want a community. And
Yeah.
if the office isn't that community, they'll find it somewhere, or they think
Well-
they'll find it somewhere.
Mhm.
Well, and Linda, you and I know the value of community is tremendous. When you look at Linda and I like to study different businesses. And when you look at some of the other businesses that make a lot, like they're charging 150,000, Linda, you know, groups of people who charge upwards of $150,000 to $250,000 a year for people to be in a mastermind group. So when you can provide that in a market center and provide tremendous value, there is huge value in what that provides to people who are on a mission to have a big life.
Yep. So true.
I heard many years ago from John Maxwell, everybody knows him, that the most difficult business is God's business. When you're running a church and you're not paying anyone, the ability to be able to influence someone to come to a particular event is how churches grow. And there's no compensation. You're a church leader, you know, you do it and for the people. And that's really where you can see servant leadership at its greatest. And servant leadership gives you the greatest return.
And then the real estate office has to be the next hardest because all of our agents are volunteers also. They could either choose to volunteer to be with us or volunteer to be somewhere else.
But it's where you spend the most time. You're at home and at work. Most people spend more time at work than at home.
Yeah.
That's really good. Well, and Linda, I want to make sure I circle back on something Adele said that was really important. She mentioned one of her daughters said that their inheritance, they want the profit share. So I just would like to let the record state, Linda McKissack, put me in on that plan. Okay.
We'll see how you act and all kinds of things first. If I was you, I'd go ahead and just build your own just in case.
Okay. All right. Good point. Good point. Well, Linda, any last questions or thoughts for Adele in closing?
No, I just think, you know, what I love about Adele is she follows the models of KW. She runs the market center. She believes in the tools and the three things that we talked about, which is education,
compensation and culture.
And compensation. And she follows those. And I think some people try to make it too complicated. But you know, when you just follow the model and just provide what the model provides, I think that helps a whole lot. But I guess the last thing I would want to ask you, Adele, is what advice would you give people? Because I've watched you take all of you're 23 people in your family now. I've watched you take them on amazing vacations.
Yeah.
I'm sure Profit Share helped do some of that.
Pays for it.
I love your house in New Jersey. It's beautiful. So I know Profit Share contributed to you making that decision and doing that also. So what one bit of advice would you add to our listeners? Because we've got a lot of people out there listening that they're just starting to hear the conversation about Profit Share. What advice would you give them?
Look at the agent on the other side of the transaction, the other side of even just when you're showing property, really pay attention to them, listen to them, get into a relationship with them, because you both sit on the same side of the table looking to do the deal. Care about those associates. Our buyers and sellers, they come and they go, but the other agents, they're your world and you should want to change their world.
Yeah, love that. That's a great.
Well, and I look at what you guys did in Keller Williams, and a huge part of the reason why y'all had the opportunities you did is because you didn't burn relationships. You actually cared about other people. And I think that is when you're so focused on just serving your clients and it's just everything's about the client, you miss out on what could be the opportunities to open so many doors in this industry because you're not caring about the person on the other side of the transaction too. So I think that's great advice, Adele.
Yeah, very good. Awesome. So Press, any final questions or thoughts?
Nope. I think Adele, you're a rock star as always. Thank you for bringing your awesome accent on our podcast this week.
On our very Southern podcast.
That's right. We need a little New York on here.
Oh, for sure. Your mom said something to me that I had no idea. Someone approached me and said that my husband and I were one of the top profit share earners in the company. And I said, I shared that with your mom. And I said, I had no idea. And this is important for you guys, or you all, as you call it. Because I was so busy doing it that I had no idea. Because you just do it. You do it.
And the money shows up.
And it's
a byproduct. Yeah. You don't do it for the money. You do the activity and then the money will you have to have faith the money's going to show up.
The opportunities show up. Don't look for them. Do the work and the opportunities, they'll be banging on the door looking for you.
Yeah. Love that. That's awesome. Well, remember,
Well-
if you have not hit the subscribe button, please go ahead and do that now. And Pat, the greatest compliment you can give Press and I is pass this podcast along to any other Keller Williams agents that you know, because every Keller Williams agent in our company should be listening to this podcast at least on the 21st, which is our favorite day of the month when profit share drops, to remind them what a gift profit share really is. And so pass it along to any Keller Williams agents that you know of, and be sure and hit that subscribe button if you have not. And Press, I guess we'll see you next week.
Okay. And last thing in closing, Linda, that I just wanted to share. I think we ought to do this as a reminder every couple episodes. Gary Keller has said in multiple mega camps and family reunions that the largest profit share earner may not yet be with our company. So if you're hearing this for the first time, understand that could be you. So I just want to plant a seed of hope and opportunity that this is a gift for all. And so let's go out and keep changing lives.
Yeah. And remember, if you have not, go to profitsharemastery.com and you can see everything we have available there. If you want to get more active in building your profit share, you can sign up for the websites at Press and Josh have done an amazing job helping people build their downline with new agents. And then, of course, we have our course on attracting influential agents. So Press, I don't know when this will drop.
Yeah, it will be after the summit, if that's what you're asking.
Okay,
So if you're listening to this, you will have missed the Profit Share Summit.
You will have missed it this year, but don't miss it next year. See you next week, Press.
All right, see ya.